I had been looking forward to my birthday party for weeks. Finally, a chance to kick back and have some fun. I'd invited all my friends over to my house, and the place was filled with excitement. We had the music blasting, the drinks flowing, and the grill going in the backyard. The vibe was just right, you know? Everybody was laughing, dancing, and enjoying themselves. It felt like the perfect night. But, like they say, the night can change in the blink of an eye. My girl Tina, she'd invited this guy she'd been chatting with. We didn't know much about him, except that he had some street ties. So, this dude rolls up to the party, and from the get-go, he's acting all shady. My cousin Tony, he's sharp with these things, said he got a bad vibe. But it's my birthday, so I didn't want to be all paranoid. We're chilling in the driveway, everyone is dancing to the beat, when suddenly, we hear these pops. First, it was like fireworks, but then, we see the flashes. Gunshots. Real ones. Panic sets in, and people are screaming, diving to the ground. I grab Tina, and we hit the deck. My heart's pounding so hard it feels like it's gonna jump out of my chest. I peek over the car we're hiding behind, and I see the dude who came with Tina. He's scrambling, looking terrified. These other guys, they got their guns out, just letting loose on the house. Bullets are flying, glass is shattering, and I can't believe this is happening on my birthday. I'm praying to whoever's listening that nobody gets hit, not at my party. Tony, he's brave as they come. He's shouting at everybody to stay down. He grabs a piece of wood from the broken fence and starts swinging it like a madman, charging toward the shooters. Them shooters, they see Tony coming and they bolt. They're gone in a flash, leaving behind nothing but chaos and destruction. Once the gunfire stops, we start checking on everybody. Miraculously, nobody got hit. It's like we had guardian angels watching over us that night. The police show up, sirens blaring, and we're giving them our statements. Tina's guy, the one who brought all this mess, he's nowhere to be found. We didn't even know his name. After the cops leave, we're left with the aftermath. Bullet holes in the walls, shattered windows, and the whole party vibe is gone, replaced by this heavy silence. My friends started helping me clean up the mess. We're sweeping glass, patching up holes, and trying to salvage what's left of my birthday party. But the shooting changed the mood. Tina was crying, blaming herself for inviting that guy. But I tried to tell her it wasn't her fault. We didn't know what he was bringing with him. It takes us hours to get the house looking somewhat normal again. My birthday turned into a nightmare, but we didn't let it ruin everything. We all agree never to mess with dudes from the streets again. It ain't worth the risk. We're just regular people trying to have a good time, not mixed up in all that drama. That night stayed with us though. Nobody's gonna forget them gunshots or the craziness that came after. We'll always wonder why that guy showed up with all that trouble. And every birthday since, we keep it low-key, just us and the ones we trust. No more surprises, no more drama. Just good times and good people, because that's all we need in this crazy world.
We just wanted to have a good time. Me and my girls, we were looking for some fun that Friday night. So when these guys invited us to a house party, we thought, why not? The night started out all right. We rolled up to this big old house with loud music and a bunch of people hanging out on the porch. The guys who invited us, they seemed cool enough. We didn't know what we were walking into. We're chatting, dancing, sipping on drinks, and everything's cool. But as the night went on, things started feeling off. The guys, they started getting pushy, trying to get us to drink more, and some of them were real handsy. One of my friends, Lisa, wasn't having it though. She's strong-willed, always has been. She straight up tells the guys to back off. That's when things went south real fast. These guys started getting aggressive, blocking us from leaving. They were grabbing our phones, saying we can't call nobody. It didn't take long for us to realize we were in a real messed up situation. I had to think quick on my feet. I looked down at my arm and remembered that I was still wearing my Apple Watch. When the guys turned around for a second, I texted my mom really quickly from my watch. I told her that we were in trouble and she needed to call the cops ASAP. It felt like hours, but it couldn't have been that long. We're trapped in that house with these guys. Their eyes looked evil and we knew that their intentions weren't good. But then, we hear sirens in the distance. The guys start freaking out, and that's when we know help was on the way. But they wouldn't let us go that easy. They were holding us tight, threatening us not to say anything to the cops. The cops show up, and we can see the flashing lights through the windows. We're praying the guys don't do something crazy before the law arrives. But the cops bust through the front door like they're in an action movie. These guys don't stand a chance. They're cuffed faster than you can say getaway. We're free, finally. The cops, they take our statements and tell us we did the right thing texting for help. They say we're lucky they got there when they did. The guys are led away in handcuffs, and it feels like a weight's been lifted off our chests. We hug each other tight, knowing we dodged a real bad situation. My mom shows up, a look of relief washing over her face when she sees us safe. She's proud of her daughter for being quick thinking. We head back home, our nerves still rattled, but grateful we made it out okay. We promise each other we'll always watch out for one another. Life moves on, but we'll never forget that night. We learned a lesson about trusting strangers and the importance of having a way to reach out when you're in trouble. We're stronger now, a bond between us that can't be broken. We know we can handle anything life throws our way as long as we stick together. That house party was a close call, and we'll never forget that night, but it won't define us. We're survivors, so we keep on living, laughing, and loving. Nothing's gonna stop us from enjoying life to the fullest. We're young, free, and ready for whatever's next. And that's our story, the story of how we faced danger head-on, and came out the other side stronger than ever. We'll never let anyone hold us hostage again, not as long as we've got each other's backs.
College life is full of twists and turns, surprises you never see coming. I had one of those moments when Kevin, the guy I'd crushed on for ages, finally asked me out. I was ecstatic, my heart doing somersaults like a gymnast on caffeine. The anticipation leading up to our date felt like an eternity. Every time I glanced at my phone, I hoped to see a text from Kevin confirming our plans. Finally, on a crisp Friday afternoon, my phone buzzed. "Hey, Emma. It's Kevin. Want to go to a party with me tonight?" I nearly dropped my phone, my heart racing. I'd been waiting for this moment for so long. I replied with a hasty yes and tried to contain my excitement. Kevin was charming, the kind of guy who could sweep you off your feet with just a smile. He was popular on campus, the life of every party, and being asked out by him felt like winning the lottery. The party was at a swanky downtown loft, complete with fairy lights and pulsating music. When I arrived, Kevin greeted me with a hug and introduced me to his friends. I felt like a VIP. We danced, we laughed, and it seemed like everything was going perfectly. Kevin was attentive, and it was clear that he was into me. I thought I had finally hit the jackpot. But as the night wore on, things started to change. Kevin's behavior became erratic, his charming smile replaced by a distant look in his eyes. It was like he was a different person. I noticed him disappearing into a back room with a group of people, and I felt a pang of unease. Something didn't add up. My friend Kelsey, who had been at the party too, pulled me aside. "Emma, I've got a bad feeling about Kevin," she said, her brows furrowed. "I don't trust him." I brushed off Kelsey's concerns, convinced that Kevin was just having a wild night. But as the hours passed, my unease grew. Kevin returned from the back room, and his demeanor was even stranger than before. He offered me a drink, but I noticed him drop something into it when he thought I wasn't looking. My heart sank. Why would he do something like that? I pretended to sip the drink, my mind racing. I knew I had to get out of there. As I made my way to the door, I felt a wave of dizziness wash over me. The room spun, and my legs felt like jelly. Kevin noticed and rushed over, his face a mask of concern. "Emma, are you okay? Let me take you home." I was too disoriented to argue, and I reluctantly agreed. As we made our way towards the exit, Kelsey intercepted us. "Emma, you're not going anywhere with him," Kelsey said firmly. "I'll take you home." I clung to Kelsey, grateful for her intervention. Kevin's true intentions remained a mystery, but I knew I couldn't trust him. Kelsey drove me back to my dorm, and I stumbled into my room, my head spinning. The next day, I woke up feeling groggy and disoriented. My memory of the previous night was hazy, but something was definitely wrong. I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd been drugged. I confided in Kelsey, who urged me to go to the hospital. The doctors confirmed my suspicions. I had indeed been roofied. I was fortunate that Kelsey had intervened when she did. What I found out about him shattered my trust in Kevin, and I couldn't believe that the guy I'd admired for so long had turned out to be someone I barely recognized. It was a harsh lesson to learn about the importance of listening to our instincts. Sometimes, the people we least expect can hide the darkest secrets. In the end, I was too embarrassed to follow through filing criminal charges against Kevin, and I decided to let it go and move forward with my life. Thank you for listening. Stay spooked.